All right, welcome back to the PTE show. Tonight, we're going to start off with saying, unfortunately, someone lost their life today during an ICE raid in Minnesota. Renee Nicole Good, 37-year-old resident of Minnesota, was shot while interfering with an investigation. And my biggest thought on the whole thing is this the tipping point? Is this the thing that starts, civil unrest, civil war in our country? Who knows? But go ahead, show that clip, Ronan.
All right. Yeah, this is like you were saying. There's several from different angles. This is just one angle that I guess we could do the full screen.
No!
Right there. Now she put those reverse lights on.
All right, I'll unshare this so you can.
So, there's talks of Walt saying he's going to bring in, the reserve units there in
National
Minnesota,
Guard.
National Guard. Would the National Guard even stand up for this and fight against the federal government in such a battle? That scares me. That makes me think of the tipping of the scales. But today I posted something on Facebook, and for me, these are just a few names that I'm going to bring to the table that really, really, really bother me. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Amy Klobuchar, Representative Jamie Raskin, Senator Chuck Schumer, Senator Tim Kaine, Senator Charles Van Hollen, Senator Chris Murphy, and Senator Dick Durbin. 4 years ago, around the beginning of Trump's first term, all of these people had one complete view. I know I'm shifting gears here. Had one complete view on Venezuela. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But today it is the complete opposite. Before it was, why aren't you going in there, stopping this dictator, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Now it's the shifting of the attitude and, their whole entire demeanor about it. You can't do this. This is a dictator. That woman, Renee Nicole Good, that died today, in my opinion, died because of these people on the far left.
Yeah.
She didn't have to die. What are people thinking? What are people doing nowadays? They're just like trying to stop law enforcement. I mean, Ronan, seriously, would you ever, like, if the role was reversed, would you try to stop law enforcement, or would you try to go about it a different way?
Listen, first of all, the big thing that you'll be able to tell is like people who are Republicans typically have jobs and families and
Conservative values and morals.
well, more or less, like they have a life that's busy and they've got things to do. They go to their kids' soccer practices, and liberals seem to have way too much fucking time on their hand that they're all like, it's like they're full time fucking protesters.
And
Like
George Soros paying them.
I was gonna try to refrain from using the retard word today, and you just named off a bunch of retards, and I'm gonna tell you about 4 retards that you didn't mention. The biggest retard of all is Tim Walz. And the fact that this donkey dick is still the fact that he is not brought up on something, like the fact that he's not at minimal impeached, it blows my mind, right? He's a fucking retard. Jacob Fry. Our shows always seem to come back. Do you know who Jacob Fry is? He's that retard that ate at the restaurant. Remember?
Yep.
Couscous guy? That guy. Eric Swalwell. Do you know who Eric Swalwell is?
No. Who's he?
All right, he's a jerk off from California, and so he's he's a U.S. representative in California. So he's one of Gavin's butt buddies, and in 2010, right, he was caught in a relationship with this Chinese chick named Fang Fang, right?
Oh, I've heard about this.
She was a fucking Chinese spy, bro. Here's this guy in the government and he's banging a fucking Chinese spy, like dating, not like a one time wham bam, thank you, ma'am. We're talking about like in a relationship with this bitch.
She was a plant.
Yeah, well, listen, and he's a vegetable. So he posts out tonight on X, and he says, okay, now they talk about the rhetoric, right? The rhetoric, ooh, Trump's rhetoric. Listen to what shit the fucking, almost said vultures, the fucking liberals say. This dude posts the video of the woman who tried to run over the cop, right? And he writes, "This is murder. Local officials must prosecute ICE, and Congress should strip them of their immunity." So this was 6 hours ago. This happened today, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier this morning,
Okay.
probably 11 o'clock.
So this retard who was banging the Chinese operative all of a sudden is now an expert on, this kind of situation. But think about that rhetoric. This is murder, right? So he's basically saying a cop murdered a woman. Okay. Then this dickhead, Jacob Fry, this couscous lover, he goes out and does a press release today. And in the report, they're asking him questions. And he was like, let me just be clear. They're trying to turn this into like a self-defense thing for the cop, but that's bullshit. That's not what happened. So now he's saying to the public that this was not a police officer protecting himself. This was a woman who was murdered by a police officer or an ICE official. So you have these people that are high up in the government. We're talking like representatives, mayors, governors who are now saying that this was not an officer protecting themselves. This was a flat out murder. That's fucking dangerous, bro.
Very
That
dangerous.
is
That's
some dangerous
exactly
shit, dude.
that is the tipping of the scales. That's what worries me. Are we at the doorstep of a civil war? I mean, we already know liberals are crazy,
And
and
they've got a lot of time on their
sometimes,
hands.
and the problem though is what they don't realize is you can only poke the bear so much before it turns around and mauls you to death.
But see, what I don't think they understand, this is what scares me. It's not the liberal people don't scare me. What scares me is how fucking stupid they are.
That's why I
And
said they're crazy.
like we were talking about before this even happened, this show was going to be based on like back to common sense, right? Like what happened to common sense. And then this happens, right? So what I don't think liberals understand, right? And I'm not saying every Republican's some fucking diehard patriot conservative. There's a lot of soft conservatives out there. We're not all looking for a fight. We're not all trying to fight. But the liberals will find out after fucking around that that's just not a fight that they're going to want. That's like,
Oh,
they're
it's
not
not.
going to do well because liberals fight with their little words and their little signs. When it gets to the boiling point, like conservatives are very, they have a limit and they tend to stay under it. But when that line is crossed, there is no more limits. It's all or nothing. So what's going to happen is these little fucking pencil pushers and these fucking nerds with their little signs, sure they can stand there and yell with their bullhorn, but when shit gets physical, it's going to get bad, like
It's going to get
quickly.
really bad.
And they're
There
not
was
they're not ready for that smoke.
there was a really cool post today that I caught online. And not really cool, but it struck a chord for sure. It said if 9/11 happened today, the people on the left would be defending Al Qaeda.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
dude.
what has happened to them?
Yeah.
Like seriously, what is going on with this whole thing with Maduro?
Oh my God,
Breathe
dude.
this guy. He's not the president. He was a dictator. He oppressed his people. He sold um, the natural resources of his country and basically profited. He kind of sounds like Ilhan Omar and
Yeah.
AOC,
Yeah.
profiting from this stuff. And the people are not doing well at all in the country.
No, they're doing terribly.
They're doing terrible. And all of a sudden, Maduro, the only illegal that they're okay with deporting? Like, what is going on? Yeah.
Yo, the number one thing I can't wrap my little pea brain around is Joe Biden put a bounty on Maduro's head for
$25
$25
million.
million.
Yeah.
Okay. Carry the 1 to 2. What the fuck? Like, how is so their supreme leader, old Joey fucking dickface, he sets a bounty to get this person, right? And we're all good with it. We love it. Oh, hell yeah, fucking Joe Biden. And then Donald comes and does it, and everyone has amnesia. I think the liberals have fucking amnesia.
Well, that
And
was
that's why I call
the
them retards.
that was the what was it? 8 names that I mentioned. Those 8 names were the people in the beginning of Trump's first term that were saying, "Why aren't you doing anything about this? Why aren't you stopping him? Why aren't you fighting?" And then Biden comes in, he puts this bounty. They're like, "Oh yeah, like you said, oh, what?" And now you're against, okay, whole nother topic. Why is the left completely silent about what's happening in Iran right now? Those people are fighting for their freedom. Why aren't they saying anything?
Well,
Those
because
people are tired of Islamic law and Sharia law. Why isn't the left saying anything?
because the left is leaning towards the Muslim people.
You're not getting it. They're leaning towards the extremists, not the Muslim people.
That's what I'm
Those people
saying.
in Iran are not, they're you and I in their country. The only difference is they can't speak the way that we can. They can't have a podcast the way we can. They can't get on a social media and be like, fuck Khomeini. They can't do that. They'll be done.
Yeah.
Bullet in their head. They're not bad people per se. Actually, before the revolution in 1979, Iran was a thriving metropolis. They were part of fashion and trend and vacation and economy and everything that is good in a country. They were just living their best life.
So think about it like this, right? So in the last 6 months, right? The last 6 months, I would say globally, the biggest problem in the on the globe is immigration. Okay. Now, look at I
Who
can
stands at
name
the front of that line of immigration problems? Are you on the same page as me? Who's at the front of the line when it comes to a
it's all
culture?
fucking Muslims.
Okay. I just
It's
want to
all the
make sure we're
fucking
on the same page.
no, it's all the fucking towel heads, dude. So so think about all these countries that they've invaded. You know, I hear people talk, you're not an asylum seeker. You're not immigrating. You're a fucking invader, right? You're the dude who runs onto the soccer field in the middle of a fucking game in your underwear because you're a jerk off. That's how I feel right now. So when it comes to all these countries, right? Like Nepal burned to the fucking ground and not one person talked about it. Australia, the UK has been, dude, the UK is so bad that the Irish and the English are now friends because they want to fight somebody else.
Yeah, look at what's that city? Birmingham is the first city in the UK that has that the residents, the original natural born citizens of that country are now the minority.
Exactly.
What
So my
the
point
fuck?
is you didn't hear any of that shit from the news because what they don't, the dude Tommy Robinson, who runs this huge firm, firms they call them in England, which had like 2 or 3 million people that marched to boycott this illegal invasion, right? You didn't see any of that on the news. And the same thing with Iran. They don't want us to see people revolting against their government, because then what happens to us? We see it, we start getting the ideas, right? We're like, hold on a second.
This
These
little guy right
motherfuckers,
here.
these motherfuckers are all attacking their capitals and overthrowing their governments. What if we were to do something like that? So they don't want us to see shit like that. They don't want us to get those ideas. The same reason you said that the people in Iran don't have the luxury of having their own podcast. So they suppress it. They don't want us to see it because they know, like, I can tell you right now, dude, we are in a very, very fucking scary. And I said this weeks ago, it's just going to take one thing to happen for the whole thing to kick off.
Well, it
Is
might
this
be
it? Probably not,
Renee.
because
No,
I don't know. But at the end of the day, when you want a fight, you'll let the stupidest thing cause it, right? Like, it's like being married, dude. If you're in a bad mood and you're just itching for a fight, like, it could be the stupidest thing, so the way that the left is right now, they are so fucking brainwashed and so against Trump that it is literally like caused the frontal lobe to stop working in their brains.
absolutely. Trump could literally come up with the cancer cure,
And
and
he'd be ruining people's lives by making them live too long. Like,
yeah.
so
Maybe
there
they'll go
is
and do the opposite.
there is no rational middle ground anymore. It just it's there's no more, dude. There's it's
I don't think, honestly, with all of my heart, and I thought about this the other day. I was doing some stuff around the house, and I stopped for a minute. I put my head down because I was a little discouraged. I am genuinely worried for the future of our country, for the future of my own personal children and their children. I am so worried that when you're 44, I'm 47. By the time we're in our 60s, if we don't handle, and now to me, it's not even a national problem. I think it's a global problem, the liberal. There are liberals in every country. And if it's not socialist Marxist, it's
fat white one.
fucking far left liberals that want to like trend into that. I'm so worried about the future of this country if we don't get a grip on it now in the next 3 years. And what do we do when 2028 comes around? Are we going to not go and vote because it's not Trump on the ballot? Like, I think we're irresponsible as conservatives when it comes to stuff like that. And whether it's JD Vance or someone else, we all need to get out and vote and protect some of the.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's you just hope it's a good candidate. Like, you know, I I don't know, something, and I really like Marco Rubio. I think he would be good. I think Ron DeSantis would be fucking, you know how I feel about my brother Ron.
Here's the problem with Ron DeSantis, though. He has given himself such a name in the state of Florida as being like aggressive in nature. It's like Trump, and I am worried about that. Is that going to turn people off? Because I only think there can only be one Trump. There can only be one
Well,
guy that
yeah,
pulls it off.
well, I don't want another Trump.
I
Like,
don't either. I'm not saying that, but
I
what
think,
are the mindsets of people before they go to vote, going to be like when it comes down to crunch time?
well, you
We
know what
need
they will.
80 million votes
Yeah,
to
but you know
take
what?
this.
You know where Ron DeSantis would do well? Out of all those people I just named, Ron DeSantis is the only one that went at him.
That's true.
So people out of fucking spite will be like, "Oh, Ron DeSantis fought Trump and they made names of each other and fuck yeah, Ron DeSantis." Because they're just
I hope
listen,
so.
I you know what I thought about the other day, and it broke a piece of my heart, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a Trump lover. I love the conservative way. There's things that Trump does that annoy the shit out of me, right? but for the most part, he's much better than Kamala Harris.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Just
I'm
think,
sitting
Tim
here.
Walz could have been sitting there next to her.
Oh my God, could you imagine that dickhead was the president?
Dude,
So I'm
Somalis wouldn't be millionaires. They'd be billionaires. All
I'm
of them. They all
I'm
get a
sitting
fucking
here.
permanent gold card.
I'm thinking to myself, when Donald Trump dies, right? That is going to be probably the top 3 biggest days in history. One of them being Jesus. And I'll tell you why. Because half of the world is going to be absolutely devastated. And the other half of the world is going to be probably more excited than they would get on the first time they had sex, the first Christmas they remember having. Everyone is going to be impacted by that in either the far craziness of, yes, thank God the obituary is finally here, or it's going to be like, oh my God, a lot of people are going to be like, the goat just died.
Yeah.
And that's scary, dude. Imagine being the guy knowing that somebody, when I die, it's going to be the biggest ever event in our life. It's going to be millions time bigger than 9/11, millions time bigger than JFK, because he is the type of person that you either fully support or you fucking hate.
And
And
everybody in both sides is going to tune into that.
oh, 100%, because they're either celebrating or they're upset. It's like a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. It's like a Super Bowl, dude. Your team either fucking wins it or you lose it. And that's how it's
Speaking of
going
the
to be.
Super Bowl, is Turning Point really doing their own halftime show?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't fuck with Turning Point anymore.
I'm not saying you do. I'm just more
They
curious.
that they yeah, but I don't I don't know if anybody's fully confirmed, but I don't know, man. That shit to me is just weird. I hate the fucking NFL anyway, but I don't know, man. Turning Point's just doing a lot of weird shit that I don't think Charlie would approve. But I love the fact that they're taken away from the from the NFL because they have some fucking gay dude, some gay trans dude
Yeah,
who
Bad
like
Bunny.
refuses to. Dude, this country we are fucked, dude. Like,
This is modern day Babylon, my friend.
dude, brother, we are in a bad fucking place right now, man. Like
We are.
I have notes all over, and it's like I hope my kids don't ever see these notes because they're gonna be like, "What the fuck was wrong with Dad? What was he even thinking?" And it's like, "Oh, that's the news." Like Jesus
No,
Christ.
actually, I was thinking about it today, even stockpiling some more of those 30
Yeah.
day meal buckets.
Did you ever
Dude,
get
who
to yours?
knows? Yeah, I got them.
Oh, you did. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I got
Yeah.
3 of them.
Um.
And I put them down in the basement. It said store in a dry, cool place. So I just put them down there.
So there's a list of I thought I had it up here. There's a list of government employees or officials that benefited kickbacks from Venezuela, right? And there's like 30, 39 of these fucking people, right? And obviously most of them are Democrats, but there's some fucking Republicans on there that were all getting money from Maduro.
Interesting.
So we're talking millions of dollars given to them allegedly. Um, and why do you think they're upset? Yeah, there's fucking who was it? Um, I can't remember who it was, but they were all upset. Tim Walz or something was upset that Trump didn't give them the heads up on going into Venezuela. Fuck you. You what are you gonna tell the fucking Somalis? You fucking prick, get out of here. But like these politicians are so fucking crooked, dude. They're all in, dude. They're all in on something. So check this out, right? So I'm watching the PBD show today, the podcast that I like, and they were talking about fraud. So you know they hated. And that's the other thing about the libs. Elon comes in and basically donates his time with Doge, right, to find fraud and wasteful spending. What normal human being, all right? So we'll try to steer this down the common sense path that we were supposed to. What normal human being would be against somebody who is smart enough to be the most richest fucking man in the world to offer their assistance in trying to see, hey, John, let me make sure that your money is going to the best that it could possibly be. Let me make sure that you're not getting robbed or nobody's robbing you, or let me make sure that your life can be as good as possible. You know what? Oh, I don't like that. Fuck that. No, don't. Oh, fuck you. Oh, Hitler. Like, where's the common sense that what kind of a person sees that and thinks, "Oh my God, no,
I'll tell you who,
you're
and
a no."
it's a
Like,
chain of events. It's the leaders of the left. They worry about what's going to be uncovered, so they start the drama to the people. The people become loud for them, and all along, it's because they're hiding something. You know they're
but
hiding something. You
no,
know
I
they're
know that.
going to lose the. Oh well, yeah. I know you do. I'm just stating the obvious. The kickbacks will be gone. The this will be that. You know, like we're mixing their pot for them, and they don't like that. We're
I'm
adding
more or
salt to
less,
their recipe.
I'm more or less talking about the actual civilian who's like, you know what? The TV is right. That's a
That's
bad
my point.
idea. I don't like
It,
that. Like,
it's
what the
the
fuck is
leaders
wrong
of
with
that
you?
party. It's the leaders of that party that are influencing these people to speak up.
Yeah,
It
but
always leads back to these fucking liberal politicians who are crooked.
yes.
If they say Trump said the sky's blue, it's green.
But
Every fucking liberal will think the sky is green then.
are these people so stupid that they just hear the politicians say that and they're like, "Oh, that makes sense." Like, are they really that fucking thick that no, nobody sits there and they think, "Wait a minute, that wouldn't be such a terrible idea." Elon seems to be a smart guy. He's sending rockets. He's driving cars with no fucking drivers. He's running billions of dollars. Maybe let him have a
What
fucking
do they
vote.
call that thing in the stock markets? IPOs.
Yeah, when it's yeah,
They said when his IPOs close in a couple days or weeks, he's going to have a net worth of
almost a trillion.
$800 billion.
Yeah, he'll have almost it'd be yeah,
He'll be the
dude.
world's first trillionaire by the end of 2026, they said.
Love him, hate him, the dude fucking he's not an idiot, right? But so
Dude, he's
so
the head
anyway, so
engineer in charge of Tesla.
so they're talking about fraud, right? And obviously there's fraud everywhere, right? But back to the whole Iran thing, like the news isn't showing you what's going on there. They weren't showing you what happened in fucking Minnesota until Nick Shirley's bitch ass pops up and he does a video and now he's like opened this whole can of worms, right? Now that the whole Minnesota thing is put on blast, now there's reports coming out that people are starting to eat, when they say like dog eat dog. So now all of a sudden there's leaks that like in 2013 there was a letter sent that they were doing this, and in 2009. So now it's like 15 years in the making that they've been doing this and they knew about it because now everyone's trying to cover their own ass.
So
So
corrupt, dude. It's
so
so
here's
corrupt.
what's going to happen. Okay, so to stay on that note, there's a dude named Keith Ellison. All right, this one's going to get me in trouble. Keith Ellison, he's the Attorney General for Minnesota, or yeah, and a recording was leaked, a hot mic.
Yeah.
So
I
so a
saw this.
record.
Tell me.
So basically, long story short, I think it was in like June of 2021 or something. So you remember the whole what was it called? Feed the future.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
that whole fucking scam where we're gonna feed all these people and there was no fucking people and they were just taking the money. Well, he was on some hot mic basically talking about how the fraud was going to work. I'm going to protect you. You're going to protect me. I'm going to get you, you're going to get your resources and then I'm going to get my resources when it's time. So you scratch my back, I scratch your back. And now he's like talking about how that's not what he meant. So the shit is coming out, right? And the more that they dig, see, now they have to do the digging because of Nick Shirley. Like, what are you going to do? Just not do it? Like, so you're going to have YouTubers running around the world, and PTE is going to be solving murder now? Like, they had no choice but to do it. But what's happening is that the more they're doing it, the more fucking onion layers are coming off. So here's where I think it's going to go. Okay, so there's a couple states that are going to get hit with fraud almost immediately. You ready? This is my
California is
bold
top
prediction,
of the list,
right?
right?
Huh?
California.
California,
Okay.
Colorado,
Okay.
Minnesota, New York, and Illinois. I have a feeling. Now here's my bold comment.
Somebody said that today. 5 blue states.
Yep. So
Yeah.
here's what I think is going to come down. I think when it's all said and done, this might take 2 years, 3 years for this whole thing. It might take his whole term. But my bold prediction is when all this is said and done, that between those 5 states, there'll be at least $500 billion of fraud found. $500 billion. That's what I think.
What's going to happen to these people? Like, we've talked about it before. We're tired, and actually, lots of people are tired about it. What is going to happen? Like, when is the hammer or the gavel going to hit? Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Yeah,
guilty.
well, the fact that that's what everyone wants. And you could probably see a change in my demeanor in the last 3 shows. Like I was like a whole like, oh, let's go Trump, to now it's like, fucking let's go Trump. Like,
Let's
you're
go.
killing me, Smalls. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, let's get going. But think about it like this, right? We're sitting here and we're demanding accountability. We're not just demanding to weaponize the fucking White House. You got caught for fraud. You need to go to jail. You got caught stealing. You need to go to fucking jail. Like,
Surprised that Tim Walsh could do a press conference as bold as he did this morning. I was like, what the fuck?
That's why I think he's retarded. Like, it doesn't even, like, in a normal person's brain, they'd be like, I can't even face this fucking cat. Then he shows up.
I think he's doing something to protect his life. I think he's scared for it.
He gets up there and he talks like none of this ever happened. So hear me out, right? So we're sitting here expecting someone to be accountable and go to jail. This motherfucker says, hold my beer. Not only is he not going to jail, he comes out and he basically says, I've formed a militia that's going to fight against the federal government. In my state, we have doctors and farmers with pitchforks. Like, we're going to fight. And people are like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't that the definition of like tyranny? Like, what is going on right now? Yeah. Treason and all, like, what the fuck? This guy is what? Like, sometimes I think I'm retarded, which is debatable. But like, listening to, like, when I saw that, I just saw that after soccer practice, and I look up and I was like, did that motherfucker just say
today with practice, huh?
I said, did that motherfucker just say he created a fucking band with farmers and doctors and neighbors, and they're gonna fight the guy? What? Dude, imagine.
I wish I was eligible to go back into the military.
Dude, I wish my back wasn't like a box of Rice Krispies.
I told me my old ass can't go back in. I was like, gee.
Yeah, but we could be like that first line of defense where they just run in and they know that we're all just going to be old and tired and dead, but we kind of slow down their first strikers so our strong ones can come in for the kill. I'd sacrifice myself for that. Fuck yeah.
I'm not sacrificing myself. I'm going to win. I'm not dying for fucking libtards.
I'm not letting listen, I don't understand. I
Dude,
really
I'm
don't.
telling you, I go to war. Fucking war paint out my face.
Dude, I'll go. Dude, next practice. Dude, I'll go to our soccer tournament looking like fucking William Wallace, dude, with blue paint on. I don't fucking care anymore. No, it's dangerous, dude. I mean, the fact that politicians are coming out and just blatantly saying that this was murder. Like, you're not even going to let the investigation play out. Like, you're not going to let.
That's what they do, Ronan.
What
They
the
start
fuck, bro?
feeding the fucking spew, and these motherfuckers suck it in. And their whole entire ball of crystal ball is they surround it with Trump in the center of it. They make, TDS. I mean, it's a real thing. Like, people are sick in the fucking head. I don't understand how they can just continue living a life where they just listen to whatever is said and they don't use their own personal judgment and free thoughts to, like, say, oh, that kind of sounds funny, or that doesn't make sense, or that's kind of fishy. Dude, every American that lives and breathes, whether they're conservative or not, and liberal as fuck, when you hear about this Somali fraud, there should be unity. Like, what?
There should not be.
You didn't come to our state. You came to our country.
And
this is our country. You stole our money
and sent it back to your country, who are fucking terrorists.
Yeah,
like,
I love it. Every single time Trump talks about Somalia, he says it. He goes,
"Kudos to them."
Parking lot, and all they do is walk around killing each other.
Dude, kudos to the Somalis for fucking playing so stupid that they fucking just ran
out of this country. They
robbed the shit out of us right under our nose, dude. So you know what? Kudos. Game over, bitch.
Before you give that kudos out,
game over, motherfuckers.
They had help from within, and that is the enemy from within that the Constitution says. Defend against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Well, we have a big domestic problem, and they are Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer, Jamie Raskin.
I fucking hate Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, God.
Elizabeth Warren he calls her Pocahontas. She was the bitch that tried to say that she was fucking Cherokee or some bullshit.
Yeah,
man, fuck
that's
her.
why he calls her Pocahontas.
Dude, fuck all of them. Dude, they're all crooks.
Every single one of them. They are crooks. And you know what it is? They think that they're smarter than everybody because of their pedigree. I don't know what the fuck to call it, but they think they're better than everyone else, that their shit doesn't stink. What? The minute you say you believe in Trump, you're everything against what they believe in. Just say you follow Trump and you're a rapist, you're a murderer, you're a
Nazi, you're a Gestapo,
you're a Nazi, you're fascist, you're like, Who said it today? Was it Colombia? No. It was either Colombia's president or Cuba's president. They said Trump is a modern-day Hitler. Dude, if Trump was a modern-day Hitler, you won't have those protests in Minnesota and in LA and in Chicago. They wouldn't exist. The Gestapo would come in and end that shit real quick.
You know what I think is, you can only be called something so long until you turn into that something. If someone calls you an asshole or a bully or a dick for years, at some point you're going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, whatever.
Yeah, but that's a rough way to think. I wouldn't, whatever they call me, I'm never going to say I'm those things unless I
No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like Trump, right? Like, they keep saying like, oh, he's the modern day Hitler. And obviously I don't believe that. He doesn't do things that Hitler was doing. But more importantly, like, at this point, me as a voter for him, now I'm at the point I'm like, fuck it, bro. Just go. Just do it. Just do whatever the fuck you want to go into Chicago, fucking guns blazing. You got my vote, buddy. You want to fucking go tear down California? You got my vote, buddy, because these people are not rational people.
No, not at all.
You cannot debate with these people. You cannot build with these people. And that's what's sad. That's what's sad, is that you don't sit at a round table anymore. Like, when I was a kid, I always just assumed there was a president and everybody was like kumbaya and shit. Like, that's how the government worked. And now it's like, dude, I had a dream the other day that you and we've talked about this podcast, and we both know that it's going to be big one day. Who's to say in 4 years from now we both get locked up for some shit that we've said on our fucking podcast before, where people, whoever, is the new president comes back and retracts all of our videos, and like, that's crazy, dude, but that's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched. No, 1941 Nazi Germany. If you got on social media, if there was a thing then, and said Hitler's a fascist and this,
Hitler's
man,
a
that
Trump.
motherfucker would find you in 10 minutes. He would have his special police at your door, and your whole family is gone. You're gonna be.
They'd be like, Guten Stagen, Hitler's like Donald Trump. Oh,
Christ.
Fucking retards, the whole lot of them.
Who's like Donald Trump is the fucking chaos creators from the left. They are like Hitler.
Oh, so one last note I missed on the California fraud. Remember the whole $500 billion?
Yeah.
So the last thing I'll say about that. So this is why I think California is going to be worst. Obviously, California and New York are always the two fucking dodgy ones. But California has a lot of money, dude, and they have a lot of immigrants and they have a lot of stuff. So they were doing an audit in California, right? I don't know the exact date. Well, it was in like the last year or two. They were doing like a major audit, and Gavin Newsom stopped it like mid-audit and canceled the audit.
Okay, that doesn't sound fishy at all.
And no, right? I mean, total normal. And they never finished it, allegedly, right? So they were doing this audit, and they stopped it halfway, and they just left it at that. And if I'm a California resident, right? This is not like everyone knew about this. This wasn't like some inside job. Like there was an audit that was due, and they were like, "Oh, everything's fine. Like we're halfway through. Everything's all good. So we are going to stop it." Like, wouldn't you, as the resident, be like, "Well, hold on a second. Like, can't we just go ahead and finish that? Can we wrap that report up?" Like, so I think you're going to find a lot of fucking fraud there, because obviously
Today they found the first publicly piece that was presented to the news was an Iranian family in California. Must have the phone number to the best pirates on the planet, because he got found with the same thing: daycare, no children, funds being sent to him. Today.
That's crazy.
This afternoon around 4:00, I saw it.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before they start rolling on each other. Total sidebar. I saw something today that fucking, and this goes back to like, whatever, go do it, Trump. Like seeing them fight against him. Like, I was always the type of person where I was like, if I was president, I would be the greatest president, because I would be able to take this guy and this guy who hate each other, and we would be able to mash, and we would all be able to break bread, and we'd sort it out together, right? In all of my restaurants, I ran every one of them the same way. When I wanted, even though I was the top boss, if I wanted to make something happen, I could just walk in and be like, from now on, we do X, right? I never once ever did that. I would always come in and I would be like, hey, I'd sit my whole staff down, sometimes 20, 40, 50 people, and I would say, hey, I have an idea. I'm thinking that we use this type of silverware because it, makes the food look better, right? And instead of me just buying the silverware, changing the silverware, and doing it, I would say, what do you guys think of that? Does anybody think that that's a good idea? Does anyone think it's a bad idea? And if more people say it's a bad idea, I won't do it. It's very diplomatic. Like, and there's been a couple times where I got voted out, and I was like, you know what? I was like, why do you say that? They're like, well, maybe it wouldn't be good because of this, or it might not look. And I would say, you know what, I didn't think of that. You're right. And then we don't do it. A lot of
I think
people
you
look at
can
me,
respect that.
and that's why people really like to work for me, because they were like, oh, the guy's actually kind of he's not a douchebag. He's kind of a decent guy. And then, you look at it with, dude, these fucking politicians, man, are just, they're unbelievable how they can just fucking, I don't know.
They're fucking relentless. I mean, nothing appeases them whatsoever. You're never going to find a liberal that will, I mean, you find some of them, but they shut them down really quick. It's
Yeah, and
Trump,
then they go,
man. They just don't like him. I didn't see George Bush get this kind of slack. I didn't see his
no.
dad get this kind of slack.
So let me ask you this. So do you think that once he's out of office, do you think that this will change, or is this just the new way of politics?
No, this is the new
So
way of politics, and I
no
think
matter
that
who's the next president for us,
yeah, no
they're
matter
getting the
what,
same
they're
treatment?
always going to say that there's that Trump influence of some sort. There's this, there's that. Trump will never be forgotten. Trump has made his mark in American history forever and ever, in my opinion. And I think, and I was going to say this earlier, but we
Absolutely.
switched gears really quick. Um, I don't see us ever coming out of this. I think there's such a hatred, and if if the blue wins in 2028, I hate to say this, but there's going to be some animosity from us, and we're not going to be kind about it. I don't think it's the same as when Trump lost to Biden. I wasn't a fan of Joe Biden, but he was the president of the United States, and I did have that level of respect for his title. Not necessarily the man, but the title. But I think that's gone by the wayside. I don't think I will ever see those points of view as healthy ever again, because I'm so, what's the word I'm really looking for?
Ingrained?
I'm so like, no, not ingrained, because that's like being a puppet. I'm so much more knowledgeable about the corruption from this party. When Trump came in and divulged the information that 25 million illegals crossed the border during Biden's term, I did not know that until then. And that's when, I started picking up traction on educating myself a little bit and following some of the information out there and trying to decide for myself. And I don't care which way you spin it, I'm always going to have that conservative moral
Yeah.
compass. It's never
Yeah.
going to be the left.
No,
Never.
and because I thought about it, I was like, could we ever get back to like a normal, and then I think about it and I'm thinking to myself, because I was talking to the kids the other day about they're doing student government, and they heard that song, The Devil is a Democrat, and they were asking me like, well, how do you know? Because then they'll start being like, oh, is so and so's parents a Democrat? Like they start asking about their friends and shit. And I was like, yeah, he's a big old bitch, dude. I was like, yeah, he's a Democrat.
You
But
remember when you told me your boy came into the car and he was upset and crying?
why? Because I wouldn't put it on.
No, because of the Hanukkah or something like that. He didn't know how to
Yeah, yeah,
draw
yeah,
something.
yeah,
So that just literally just made me think. I could see him coming into the truck crying.
yeah,
They put me on the liberal side in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
student government.
They called me a Democrat.
Did you see that little girl on that video? Daddy
Yeah,
called
yeah.
me a Democrat.
So, I'm explaining like,
Daddy.
it's like two people that just don't fuck with each other, and they're trying to work together, and it's like, and just explaining it to him really like opened my eye to how fucked up this is. Like I was like, yeah, there's two groups. There's Republican and Democrat, and they're trying to work together to make the country run good and people can live well and things like that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not even
Yeah, I was
remotely
just gonna
close to
say,
how it works.
20 feet away from you, you have a neighbor that wouldn't lend you a dog crate.
It,
And then hours later, his fucking schizophrenia kicks in. He's like, "Oh, what about that game?"
yeah, yes, yeah, that's the shit I'm talking about. I'm like,
Twisted
and then
fucking people, yo.
And then I got this other fucking liberal turd across the street with 0 Christmas lights except for this massive peace sign, who's the most fucking hateful person that lives in my street. Even my kid was like, "Why do they have that out there? They're not peaceful." Like,
No, there
dude.
was this bro. He went viral because of this. A Karen was walking on the sidewalk in front of his house. Okay,
Mhm.
and the sidewalk belongs to the municipality, the state, the
Yep.
whatever, the
Public. Yeah.
city,
Yeah.
public. And she trips and falls.
Oh, shit.
She comes to his door and starts going off on him. I tripped on your sidewalk. I'm gonna fucking sue you. And this dude's like this. Yo, bitch, get away. It was
Dude.
crazy. These people are fucking mental, dude.
Yeah,
They
I'm
are
telling you,
mental.
man.
Dude,
It's
my neighbor, did I tell you what she had in her window?
no.
So she's a liberal and she flies this huge pride flag in her window. Okay.
Oh
I'm like, all
shit.
right, whatever. Like, that's fine. You can have, that's how a conservative is. Have your beliefs. Just, you know, be courteous. Okay.
Don't put it on my side.
This is where I lost it. And my daughter stopped me from going over there to cuss her out. She put a sign next to that LGBTQ flag on a piece of paper, like that comes out of a printer, 8.5 by 11. And she writes on it in these bold letters in black Sharpie, America's the most fucked up country in the world. I have no idea, bro. She's weird. She ended up taking it down and she took the LGBTQ flag down, but that's probably because I flew a big US flag, and apparently this is a thing. If you fly the US
You're
flag,
racist.
you're racist.
Oh,
If you
hell yeah,
fly your
dude.
own flag in your country, you're racist.
Dude, if you wore that shirt, well, obviously with the lettering, but yeah, so liberals, that's their thing, is like how to spot a conservative is anyone that has any kind of like an American flag or a hat or a sticker on your car. If you have an American anything, that's like the target of he's a fascist, Nazi, white supremacist, racist,
It's fucking
bigot.
terrible, dude.
Isn't
Dude, I'm
that
telling
crazy?
you, I could see this happening, like something passing on the floor. Let's abolish, we have a liberal president again one day. Let's abolish the Constitution and rewrite it under our
Hmm.
guidelines.
Dude,
That's
I don't.
why I said in the beginning of the show, I am truly not scared about now. I'm scared about what's going to happen. Either we lock people up and set the example in the next 3 years, we're in
Well,
trouble.
let's put it this way. So when Trump left office in 2020, when he got removed from the White House, I'll say it like that.
Yeah.
The liberals who preach about not weaponizing the DOJ and FBI and all that completely weaponized every fucking branch that they had. Dude, they even, I don't know how far you know about this. They even, like Eric Trump and Don Trump, they lost bank accounts. Like they froze bank accounts with millions and millions of dollars. Like they tried to absolutely decimate that entire bloodline.
They got it back though, right?
But yeah, but like imagine if all of your
I
wealth
know, I
is
know.
on freeze and this and that. So they not only went after Donald Trump, they went after his whole like nephews and fucking everybody, dude. So they proved how dirty they were, right? The liberals were dirty. The second that the ball was in their court, they were like, fuck it, we're changing all the rules. We're fucking whatever, dude. We're doing whatever we want. So Trump comes in, and first of all, I was hoping that Trump was going to come in and fucking lock up a bunch of people, especially the ones who fucking did him dirty, like the Letitia James's fat ass
Ugh,
and
God, I
Jack
can't stand
fucking
that fucking people.
Doherty or Dawson, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Like nobody got in trouble. Like they're all put on blast, but like nothing has happened to them. And you
Ronan,
better fucking believe. Bro, the minute that Trump is out of office in 2028, if it is not won by the conservatives, they are going to fucking crucify him and his entire family. Any fucking and anyone like you and I who spoke against them, we will be enemy number one. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, in
And
this
that's
modern
fucking
world,
scary.
that is
That's
scary as
scary.
shit. And I would wholeheartedly agree. And I honestly believe that you said something that triggered this in my head. All those people that we thought should have been in jail, you're right. They're not in jail. They probably won't go to jail.
Mm-mm.
And are we at the point now in our country where Americans, regardless of which side they fall under, are we at the point as Americans where somebody from one of the sides is just going to start out an all-out war?
Yeah.
Like,
I
honestly, like, I don't care if you're on the left or the right. I don't care if you think of this as anarchy. Ronan, all of these people are part of the same swamp.
yeah. No, I
They,
listen,
they
that's what I think is going to happen. I think
and
it's
when are the people going to see? I think people are so scared of one thing, and that's the comfort they have of being able to walk into their house, turn on lights, watch TV, do a podcast, eat some food, go to bed, wake up, take a vacation. You know, you fight the government, that stuff temporarily is all put on halt.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
the
exactly.
world changes, and I think people are more scared. That's why you have the Shelley effect. You
Yeah.
know, what?
Yeah.
What's going on in Minnesota?
Oh, is it snowing again?
You know, like that's
So,
absolutely crazy.
yeah,
People don't even know.
like you remember fucking Peter Shift, old Shifty Shift?
Yeah,
Fucking dude looks like a fucking hairy testicle.
dude,
That
that dude.
motherfucker, he was the lead of the whole Russia, Russia, Russia. Come to find out, it was nothing, nothing, nothing. And then on top of that, okay, so he led the whole fucking Russia, Russia thing with fucking Barack Obama and his husband. Um, but he's not in jail. And then on top of that, he allegedly gets in trouble for mortgage fraud. So he has a house, but he doesn't fucking live there. It's whatever. Same thing with Letitia James. Same bullshit.
I wonder how
So
many of these.
that's like two frauds. Like how many fucking laws can you break without being fucking held accountable? Like what's
I'm surprised we haven't talked about this yet in tonight's show, but
bitches?
I wonder how many of these people you mentioned, plus others from within this country, um, are privy to the information about Dominion and all of the voting machines down there in Venezuela. You know those voting.
Them motherfuckers, and they scared.
You know
Big
all of
scared.
those voting machines
Yeah.
down there, that technology and all of those pieces of equipment do elections for dozens of countries around the world.
Yeah, hell yeah, they do. I actually watched the video on how they do it, and the guy, dude, when I saw it, my fucking blood started boiling. So basically, he ran this test, and he was like, "I'll show you how they do it." So he entered three names. He entered Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and I think it was his name. And he entered a ballot, and he said, "This ballot is for me." And then he entered one. He said, "This is for Donald Trump, and this one's for Donald Trump, and this one's for Joe Biden, and this one's for Joe Biden." So he put two Bidens in, two Trumps in, and one for himself. And it automatically, so when they got entered, it entered correctly, but the receipt that prints out actually flipped it so that it said three for Joe Biden, or no, four for Joe Biden and one for Donald Trump.
Motherfucker didn't get more votes than Barack Obama. There had to be that scam. Barack Obama was the most famous president in the history of the world
Yeah.
because of the color of his skin.
Yeah. So
And that motherfucker got less votes than Sleepy Joe?
yeah, and then and not to mention
No way.
it was still close. And dude, there's so I cannot
Well,
fucking wait.
if we can get our hands around this voting thing and really truly get it under control,
See, I
that's
wasn't
where
gonna
we will
say it.
see the silent majority, its true number. If that's true, where it was double or quadrupling someone else's vote. If we can get that under control, you're not going to have 80 million votes. You're going to have 80 million votes for Donald or a Republican, and you have like 30 million
Okay.
for the other side.
Okay, let's flip the script. Okay, all right, we've already gone down this road. So let's say, I was reading some stuff and it was saying that TikTok and all that kind of stuff doesn't like talking about those particular machines right now. So things get banned and voided, whatever. So let me ask you a question. I think
Dominion,
think
Dominion, 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 Dominion.
I think a lot of this Venezuela thing has to do with those machines.
I absolutely do. Everybody wants to say it's oil.
I think oil is just whatever, right? So here's why I think this. Donald Trump is an egotistical maniac. He is a narcissist. He loves being right. And there's nothing more that bothers him at night when he's laying in bed and he's like, I know I didn't fucking lose to him. He is going to do anything in his career to show, and even if he's wrong, he's going to fight this because he's the type of dude, he doesn't lose well. And he's laying in bed. Every time he takes a shit, he's like, oh, fucking Joe Biden. And I think he would do this and he would go under attack with Venezuela just to get the actual fucking receipts that he was right and he was robbed in 2020. I think that is the most important thing in his life is the voting fraud.
All right. This happens, hypothetically.
Now, hold on. I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm not done. So let's say, before you go on, let's say it all comes out and it's like blinking fucking lights. Joe Biden robbed it. It was, they're 100% guilty. There's evidence everywhere, dude. Like, there's no denying it. What do the liberals think?
It's fake. They're going to be the first ones to call it fake news.
Those aren't real receipts. Those are fake ass receipts.
Yep.
They wouldn't, but hold on. Stay with me.
They won't budge.
They wouldn't budge at all, would they?
No, not at all.
And even if the Democrats are like, ooh, listen, okay, so we fucked up a little bit. Our bad. We tried to keep him out of office. I don't think there's anything that will change their fucking mind.
No, not at all. I've never met bigger hypocrites in my life. They still insist that another thing, not just oil, not just Dominion machines, but they insist that this is all happening to cover up Epstein. You see how quiet it's been in the news about Epstein?
I think my gummy just kicked in.
Jesus Christ. Fucking psycho.
Yeah, dude, you haven't heard a dicky bird about no fucking Jeffrey.
No, you haven't.
You ain't heard a motherfucking word. You know who else you don't hear about? The old diddler. You don't hear none of that shit. None of that little P. Diddy.
Oh, well, P. Diddy, I don't think we should have heard anything about it to begin with. Fuck that fucking motherfucker.
It's the ultimate distraction, dude. And like in finance, that's what they say. Like when there's shit popping off, dude, you need to lock in because they're trying to distract your ass. And look at look at what happens is going on with silver and gold. Like that's a big fucking problem. Yeah. The silver and gold, dude, if they don't chill out with this silver, dude, it's going to knock banks off. What is it? 70 something $8 right now? Yo, I don't want you talking about silver.
I think they have to justify to some extent, Ronan, putting paper into that machine and hitting print. I mean, they're printing money that's as equivalent to Milton Bradley Monopoly game.
Yeah, but see, money has lost its value. Money's not like silver.
That's what I'm saying. They're trying to.
You can't print silver.
You can't, but you can back your dollar with strong gold and silver.
Yeah. So
I mean, they got rid of that. Who was it? Nixon that did that? Yeah. Nixon got rid of the gold standard.
Yeah.
1976.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, dude, there's so many crazy ass like things that are happening right now that blow my mind. Like I can't believe that we're actually spending time talking about people who are antagonizing government employees, like to me, it's like if you
Are
go to
you
a protest,
referencing ICE officers,
yeah, yeah,
agent?
yeah,
Okay.
or police officers or whoever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I go to a if I go to a protest, right? Like when I went to the Charlie Kirk thing down here in Tampa, I knew like I went strapped because it's Florida. You go to the grocery store strapped down here. But I knew that there was a small percentage, but still a percentage that something could pop off, right? So I knew going into that. I put myself into that arena. Like I brought myself there. But I also know that if there's going to be police officers there and I am rebelling against them, probably not going to go my way.
No,
Like,
no.
like if I'm going to protest, I'm going to protest with my brain, which is smaller than the normal brain, but clearly fucking levels above any fucking dipshit libtard. But when you assault, like they're like spitting on these people and their bullhorns in their faces, and I'm like, I can't. I'll be honest with you, John. I can't believe this is the first person that's died. Like the amount of shit that these people have been through. I said to myself all the time, how has nobody died? Like this is crazy. These people deserve to be fucking put down, dude.
Pretty much. I mean, oh,
Like
we never even really
animals.
touched on this. I'm going to be very firm on this. I don't care which angle you look at it. Yes, it's a shame that this is a mother and she was young. She was 37 years old and she died. Um, Renee Good. And but Ren, you're not going to convince me otherwise. In the heat of the moment, that fraction of a second where he turned a little bit out of the way, his brain had already told him to pull his weapon out and shoot before his body even moved. You see what I'm saying?
She was using a deadly force.
Yes, absolutely. She did
I
not
mean,
obey a lawful order they said to her, and you could hear it on the video.
get
Get the
out of the
fuck
fucking
out of the
car.
car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she didn't. And instead, the first instant I thought she was wrong. And like I said, I'm very sorry that she lost her life. She has children. It's a life. And I don't care what side you follow or believe in. But the second I knew she was in the wrong is the second I saw those reverse lights turn on.
What do you mean when?
Her reverse lights, she was not stopping. She
Yeah.
was trying to
Oh, yeah,
leave.
yeah. She was trying to leave.
Like, you're already in a stopped position. Why did you change the movement of your vehicle, whether forward or back? You're in a stopped position. And she did not have her reverse lights on. If you want to play it one more time, you can. You'll see the reverse lights go bing. And I'm like, oh my God, right there, done. I knew it. I knew it right then and there. And at first I was like, I thought they used paintballs only,
So,
but they can pull out their sidearm if it's
so
like that.
let me.
And that's the
So
training I'm speaking of.
okay. So
His
they're
brain
calling
knew
him.
to do that a second before he moved his body.
Okay. So when you learn about firearms, and you have a home intruder, they say, what do why do you need a gun? Well, I need to kill somebody if they come into my house. They said, no, you need to eliminate the threat, right? That's the proper verbiage.
Yep.
Eliminate the threat.
That's what I think
So
the ICE agent was doing.
as an officer, I think he was trying to eliminate the threat who was coming at him in a fucking 7,000
Aggressive manner.
pound fucking, she's clearly not listening.
She had a
She's
pilot,
coming.
I think.
It was a pilot.
Yeah.
So, but here's my thing. Okay, so a lot of times I try to get myself into like the liberal brain, right? I try to turn my brain into
Just
mush
go
and
visit
pasta.
your folks when you go get your next back surgery. You can just sit and
So
watch CNN for a week.
in a liberal's mind, right? When you think of these protests, one, do you think they feel like they're winning and making progress? And two, Do you think that they're just like untouchable? Like we can do as long as we don't physically like harm somebody, we could do whatever the fuck we want to do. And three, what is it you expect the officers to do if you retaliate in a physical force? Like, are they just supposed to just take it up the ass? And so, like, what do you think their limits are, like in their minds?
Who
The
the
liberals.
liberals?
Yeah, like
I
one
don't
who's at
think
a
they
protest.
have. I think that they have this rage in front of them. They just shut their eyes and they see the orange man and they lose their fucking shit. I don't know. I can't explain it. I mean, I didn't feel that way about Biden. He was the president of the United States.
Yeah,
Bottom
I just
line,
thought,
I could have talked to the man. I could have been. I would have looked at him and been like, why are you opening the borders to 25 million?
yeah, I
It's
just
not the
like
other way
sticking his
around.
little stickers on the gas stations.
Oh my
That
god,
was
I
it.
stuck so many thousands of them everywhere,
I
all
found some
over
in the
my
garage.
Frederick County.
Yeah, yeah, dude, that was my favorite thing. But like, I never wished him harm. I never wished
Never,
terrible things for him. I just wish
never.
time would go a little bit faster, or he could fuck off.
I'll be
But like,
honest with you. When he fell going up the steps of Air Force One,
I
I
felt
felt bad.
bad.
I did not laugh at him when he fell on that bicycle crossing the
Oh my
crosswalk.
god.
I felt bad.
Yeah, yeah.
The
And
left,
he,
they would fucking make memes of it and laugh and
yeah, yeah.
like I don't think you can find anybody on the left that says, "Oh, I felt bad for Donald Trump when he got shot."
No, they feel bad that the guy missed him.
Missed him. Oh fuck! I should have worn that shirt tonight.
Yeah. So
Have you seen that one?
yeah.
You
So do you think that they just feel like they can just like like what are you doing like running in front of these cars? What are you're jumping on the vehicles like
tell you what it is, Ronan. You hit me like a ton of bricks just now. They are privileged. They are spoiled. They don't know what it's like to be oppressed. They think that this is their form of oppression. That's why it's so silent in Iran, because that's real oppression. That's people losing their fucking minds saying, we're literally going to throw over the government because this is not a government. That's why they're keeping that quiet, because it would show the people here, you don't have it that bad. You really don't. They're just crying a cry. I feel like it's goddamn Woodstock 1969. Every fucking where you turn, there's somebody sitting in the fucking road trying to block some guy. And I saw this guy get out of a car. He's like, yo, my daughter is in Brooklyn. I got to get her from school. And he's pushing people. This black guy, funny as shit. I loved it. But he's like, get the fuck out of the fucking road. And he's like pushing him out of the way. And they're like, and that's all
yeah.
they're doing. They're not
Yeah,
doing anything.
exactly.
They're not getting up.
Half of them don't even know the fucking script that they're pushing.
Dude, it's like, you ever watch that show Friends?
I've seen a couple.
There's an episode where something happens and they're all sitting around the coffee shop and it's like 11 o'clock in the middle of the day and not one of them has a job ever. They're always in the coffee shop. That's what I think of when I think of liberals. They're just in a coffee shop all the time planning the next fucking
The next protest.
Jesus
No
Christ.
kings. No dictators.
I mean, it is easy to do. Maybe, I don't understand. Like, where do you find a job to go work for conservatives protesting all day? I'd sign up
They
in
don't.
Indeed in 1 second.
But they don't. That's the thing is
No,
they
they don't.
they have better things to do than to fucking do that.
Exactly. But my point is sometimes you just need to fight fire with fire.
Yeah, I saw a video tonight while I was waiting for you, and it showed like so. First of all, the where the girl was shot tonight is they said it was about a mile from where George Floyd was, and I heard somebody say, "Is this the next George Floyd?" Listen, I've never.
She wasn't black, so it's not the next George Floyd. If she was
count.
black, we would be at war tonight.
First, yeah. Well, first of all, you know what? I'm not even going to get into the George Floyd thing, but
But am I wrong?
no, not at all.
I mean, we would literally be at war tonight.
Or if she
It
was,
wouldn't be the black community starting it. It would be the fucking white liberals.
Yeah,
100%.
or if she was like Mexican or something.
Oh my God, Jesus, that would even be
So
doubly worse.
yeah, so before we jump off here, we haven't mentioned so the Venezuela thing.
Okay.
Okay, we tapped into the voting and stuff like that, but like, dude, can we not just like take a moment to applaud the motherfucking commander in chief for having gorilla balls? And this motherfucker went down there and just nabbed this motherfucker up, and his wife took his wife too.
Hey, that motherfucker Maduro told him, "Come on, coward."
Come get me. I'm in Milagros. Okay, hold
Yeah,
my beer, bitch.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll be
Well, there
down
is a
there.
point we did not touch on with Venezuela, and somebody brought this up, and it made total sense to me. By Trump doing this, it was one of his cabinet members on Air Force One being interviewed. By doing this, we are stopping the war machine. Why are people forgetting that for 27 years, China and Russia have been abusing and dogging the fuck out of Venezuela, taking their oil, doing this, doing that? I mean, we just did it the right way, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. It's I don't know, man. Sometimes my brain just like stops. Do you ever feel like sometimes this podcast is too much for you? And when I say that, I mean, like I said to Aaron, I was like, listen, I think probably my favorite thing about the podcast is it forces me to research things more. So it's, in my current situation, like it's good for me. And like you said, it's therapeutic. It forces me to make myself smarter. Now, sometimes I'll hit the miss and I'll hit the mark and I might be a little bit off, but for the most part, I try to research what I'm talking about to at least be able to be in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes like the lately I feel like I'm getting more and more angry.
Oh my God.
And
There are times, Ronan, where I want to just like pick up the phone and call you and you don't answer. And it's like the fire is out by the time you get back to me. And it's probably a good thing, a blessing in disguise that you don't answer because I probably will die on the telephone talking to you from a heart attack. It does become overwhelming. And it's not the podcast that's overwhelming, it's the world we live in that's overwhelming.
yeah, it's the news, but it's news
News.
that like Shelly, she doesn't know about that news because she's not necessarily looking into it.
Well, people
Where
like Shelly are the ones that don't understand or know how to survive, and they're the first ones that I'm gonna kick away from my door when all shit hits the fan, and be like, "Bitch, you're gonna be an anchor.
yeah, but
Leave."
listen, but my point is that is it it sometimes you wonder like is it safer and more happy? Will you be more happy if
No,
you just cover the wool over your eyes?
not me.
Because the more and more I dig in this shit, it makes me fucking angry, dude. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
angry at the system. And like I look at my notes and it makes me just want to fucking tear some shit up, man.
Ronan, it's our country. You said it before. Why are we not protecting the vets, the
Yeah,
homeless,
that's what I'm saying.
like I don't want to be caught with my pants down when all this shit goes bad. I don't want to be wondering why my bank account froze up overnight because some crazy shit's happening in the world. Like, I'd rather be in front of this than behind it. So, look, no matter how much stress it brings me personally, I think it's going to be this way for the rest of our lives, honestly. And my end goal is not about today. It's about what happens when I'm dead and my kids have to live in this hell or better world that hopefully people like you and I create or make better
Yeah.
or fucking round all those bitches up and shoot them. Who gives a shit?
And that's why, that's why I always talk about that property is, as much as I'm not trying to move, up north, I'm definitely not trying to be in a place where I'm forced to live like with neighbors. I have a place where I could retreat to, make a nice little make a nice little farm, do my thing. Let me show you this video real quick. I love this. Hold on a second.
Rip at it. If you got some good ones, I'm happy because we had great banter back and forth tonight. So show me whatever you want.
Oh, beautiful.
I fucking love AI. I think it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Look at Trump with the coke.
Well, that is great. Do you have any more like that?
Yeah, hold on. Dude, I got a couple.
House that Republicans is hilarious.
Weren't amused.
Venezuela is actually going to be a country again, and those lunatics are over there protesting it. That's upside down and backwards, but that's...
Is that you?
What?
Are you playing it?
No, I'm not playing a thing.
Well, that's weird. I don't even know where the fuck that came
I'm not
from.
even sharing my screen. I do like what I found we could do with this, with all the little stuff around. It's pretty cool.
With what?
With all the little stuff around the screen now.
Oh, okay. That's where that came from. I was like, where the fuck did this come from?
I was like, I'm not even sharing my screen.
No, it's playing again. Why is it doing that?
I don't know. You're not sharing right now.
Dude, what is going on right now? What the fuck? I don't know. I'm
Probably got hacked by a pirate Somali.
Right? I think I'm having some technical difficulties. Hold on. There's one thing I want to show you that, I always got to throw in one. You know how I do.
Show away for the rest of the show. Let's do it.
I don't know why this isn't sharing correctly. All right, this one's gonna bother you.
God.
Oh, dude, look at this fucking jerk off. Where did that go? Okay, so this guy, Mark Davis for Congress, right? This guy's going out to be Congress.
It's time to return the favor. We took yours. Now you have to take ours. That's how it works. So, like, share, and follow. We got a country to save. Let's go.
So now we have people who are running for Congress that are openly saying that they want other countries to come and take our president. That should immediately disqualify you from being able to run, number one. But number two, you're just a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
That guy's good. Yeah, so dude, like how can one say shit like that?
I don't know. It made me think right away as soon as you showed it to me. I was thinking to myself, where the fuck in all of this has, like, I mean, I guess they don't have jurisdiction. I was going to say, where the fuck has the CIA been?
But like, how can you say things like that? And
not my president.
You ready?
Oh my God, look at this idiot.
Dude, you know what though, bro? It's all in the eyes. You can always, dude, when, like, if I'm on TikTok and there's like follows and people are following you, bro, I can see it in their eyeballs if they're crazy or not. And start looking at that. Liberals have the craziest fucking eyes.
All right.
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry.
This is their year of 2025.
And you cast your fears aside, and you know you can't survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth. And then a hero.
I can't stand these people.
But when I watched that, I was like, oh my God, all of that did happen in 2025. That's like a script, dude. Like, that's a lot of shit for them to be fucking.
What did we say 2 shows ago? It's the Truman Show.
Dude, like, they're busy, bro. They keep shit fucking busy. Let me see here. Oh man, this fucking this shit makes me so mad. Did you ever see the documentary by Salza Danish about the voting fraud when they were dropping ballots and stuff in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In Georgia or something?
yeah, there's a video
Yeah.
here with a bunch of people pulling that shit off. Let's see if I'm voters.
How the fuck do I need still at 47 years old, I need a fucking ID in some places to go buy a pack of cigarettes?
Okay, listen, this is 5 minutes long, but this is dope. All right, it's a good 5 minutes because it explains the entire operation to Maduro. All right,
And then I'll take us away.
and then you'll take us away. You ready? So this is the whole extraction. Like this is pretty dope, dude. It's all done by AI. Watch this.
The CIA set the stage with a single building as bait and filled the sky with 150 aircraft to create a deafening sonic shield for the helicopters to drop Delta forces. F-35s lit up the perimeter, turning night into day. By the time the dust settled, the helicopters had already touched down and Maduro was gone. We'll also look at how the U.S. uses the F-35 jets and its Navy to launch a large-scale attack, all in the video ahead. In the dead of night that is 2 in the morning, the lights went out in Caracas. By 5 a.m., the president of Venezuela was gone. But how U.S. played in deception games. While the whole world were focused on the aircraft carriers in the Caribbean, a shadow war was being fought on the ground. This wasn't an invasion. It was a surgical extraction. We finally have the declassified timeline of how U.S. forces breached the heart of Caracas and extracted Nicolas Maduro. Let's start with step 1. The setup. This didn't happen overnight. For months, the U.S. had been tightening a naval quarantine around Venezuela. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group and the U.S. Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group on the coast. The pretext was clear. The U.S. designated the Venezuelan government a narco-terrorist state, specifically targeting the drugs lords. But while the Navy squeezed the coast, intelligence assets were tracking one man. They waited for a specific window, a moment where Maduro was stationary and vulnerable. Step 2, the strike. It began at exactly 2 in the morning Venezuelan Standard Time. High above, several F-35 stealth fighters punch a hole through the enemy lines, destabilizing their anti-air defenses. Like these Russian S-300 missiles located all over the strategic high-value target. With the skies clear, the path opens for Delta Force helicopters to fly straight towards the mission. Here comes the deception as the helicopters flew. The jets started firing with more strikes as it hit Fort Tuna, the main military base and command center, and La Carlota Air Base, destabilizing Venezuelan air support. Reports from the ground described widespread explosions and a sudden communications blackout. The chaos wasn't the goal, it was the cover. But how did the raid happen? We have to look at step 3. Under the cover of darkness and chaos, the Tier 1 operators went to work. But what is the exact unit task?
Did you hear what he said about the chaos?
Cover, yeah.
Yeah, it was the cover. That's sick right there. So
mission. It is the Delta Force.
I knew you'd like
one of the most elite secretive special forces units in the U.S. military. Witnesses in Caracas reported low-flying aircraft skimming the rooftops, flying well below radar coverage. The team breached a secure compound believed to be a safe house within the massive Fort Tuna complex. Resistance from the Venezuelan Presidential Guard was swift but ultimately futile, as the helicopters lay cover fire. The operators moved with surgical speed, landing on multiple points. But how exactly the capture and extraction happened? For this, let's look at step 4. Specialized helicopters hovered over the objective to insert the assault team. While dozens of attack helicopters laid down suppression fire, the Delta Special Forces descended and started the search for the high-value targets.
How could you ever want to fuck with these people?
Simple. The CIA had planted spy inside Nicolas Maduro close circle. While back in the U.S., Delta Force built an exact replica of his safe house, rehearsing the raid until they could do it blindfolded. While operators breached the room so fast, his security could not even react to the situation as the sound of flash grenades disoriented the security guard. Using blowtorch, they caught him before he could even lock all the doors. Maduro's shock and awe froze him as Delta Force breached the compound. Nicholas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were physically secured. This wasn't a negotiation. They were detained and immediately moved to the extraction point. These aircraft are capable of performing urban extractions from buildings and refueling in midair. Within minutes, they were airborne, leaving Venezuelan airspace and heading to a secure floating staging base in the Caribbean. This Operation Southern Spear has changed the geopolitical map of South America overnight. But wait, before after the extractions, there were reports of F-35 jets also leading the tip of the spear for the attack. We'll look how the United States used F-35 jets instead of F-16s for operations in Venezuela, because this is a well-organized and militarized Venezuela has positioned advanced Russian S-300 missile systems, Chinese radar networks, integrated Russian air defenses, and Shahed drones along its borders.
I mean,
this creates a highly lethal and challenging environment that older S-16s would struggle to survive. As stated, around 150 aircrafts and a massive 8 U.S. destroyers were stationed there. It also has 3 amphibious aircraft carrier and surveillance plane to turn it into a massive command and control juggernaut capable of overcoming a modern military's air defenses. Signals a readiness to counter Venezuela's entire air defense network if necessary. But why Venezuela Air Force failed to intercept? As of 2025, Venezuela's fighter jet fleet consists mainly of approximately 21 Sukhoi Su-30 multirole fighters delivered by Russia between 2006 and 2008, which now form the backbone of their combat air power. Additionally, they maintain about 5 operational S-16 fighting Falcons from an older batch, including 3 single-seat S-16As and 2 two-seat S-16Bs. These S-16s are aging and suffer from limited maintenance and part support due to U.S. sanctions. Although
Hello.
Hi, Papi.
Hi, Nikki. You okay?
How do you capture a high...
Hi, Nikki. So...
Listen, I screwed up, okay? I need you.
What happened? What happened? What did you do?
Can you just...
Donald Trump. Dude, that was pretty badass, wasn't it?
It was. It made me actually think of something. Why was the whole country behind Barack Obama when he went and got bin Laden without Congress's approval?
Yeah. Or when we got Noriega, or remember when we went and got fucking Saddam Hussein?
Oh, well, that was a full-blown war. That was different. We were in war. When
we went in for weapons of mass destruction, and we didn't come out with them.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm just talking about the leader of the country. But Saddam Hussein was also a brutal dictator who killed his people that didn't listen to him. You know, he ruled by the sword, not by the word.
Well, the fact that Joe Biden put a $25 million bounty on this man, and we went and got him, and now we're the bad guy, is like, these people
you see what they're doing to Biden now. The motherfucker can't even get the money to form a library. His family Christmas photo is him in the background, practically hidden. He was the president of the United States. I mean, like, they dogged that motherfucker out. Like, they put him out to pasture.
Yo, that dude.
Come on, old Yeller. Let's go in the back.
That dude has no idea where he is. When he's in Rehoboth Beach, he thinks he's in like fucking like Miami. That guy is.
He gone.
All right, land the plane here, John.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we hope you enjoyed our show this evening, and clips to follow at PTE TikTok and PTE YouTube. So please check us out. Have a wonderful evening. We will see you next week.
All right, peace.